So this month, I really want to focus intensely on the Reiki precepts. You'll watch all the videos about, using professional tools in your Reiki practice, about wearing professional clothing, about behaving professionally, about dealing with money and taxes and receipts, etc. All of those are videos you can watch. What you can't watch in a video is the results that you'll get from practicing the Reiki precepts in a very diligent way. And it sounds like from what you've all said in your check-ins that most of you are already doing this, because the changes that we need to produce in this class would not be happening if you weren't. And they are happening for each of you. I hear it. So let me pass around. Who has this book already? My God. So we only need a couple. Do you have it? Practicing the Reiki Precepts. This is for Sylvia. You'll have to buy one on Amazon, Sylvia. It's only $9.99. I earn about 79 cents from it. So, do you have one, Yachi? Do you have one more? Oh my God. So I want to talk a little bit about the precepts. You see on my wall, I have Usui's handwritten precepts. Of course, it's not an original copy, but it is handwritten by Usui, and it's not just a handwritten copy. It's not just like he didn't have a copy machine, so he wrote it by hand. He signed it. The thing on the far left is actually his signature, Usui Mikao.
This one?
Yes, and the stamp is Usui's Reiki stamp that he used for professional Reiki things. He has a smaller round stamp that says Usui that he used for formal things, but not about Reiki. That's his Reiki stamp. Now I can't read it because it's in a seal script called Tensho or something. Hard to read. Even Japanese people are like, I don't know what it says. Those are like 2,000-year-old Chinese characters, but that was Usui's stamp. And so when a teacher signs their signature on something and stamps it, for me, that's a promise. He's not just saying do this. He's saying do this. I promise you, this is my method. It is going to produce results. And for me, that piece of paper is a very important document, because I'm seeing the results of the practice, and I'm seeing it in each of you, and I'm seeing it in other students who are serious about the practice. My teacher, John, always called the Reiki precepts training the dog not to jump on the sofa. He called it a mind training. So you're all doing it already, but I just want to run through the instructions, because the instructions on this paper are not the instructions you always see with the precepts. Usui gave 2 promises. If you do this practice, this is the secret way to be happy or to generate happiness. Meaning, if you do this regularly, you will live in a state of happiness most of the time. You'll produce it by doing the precepts. You'll train your mind not to dwell in the things that cause pain and suffering. Even if you have to live through things that cause pain and suffering, your mind won't dwell in it. And if your mind doesn't dwell in it, you won't suffer as much. I see great, really ascended, incredible masters go through terrible events, and they just walk through it like it's nothing. And it's not that they're not suffering, but they don't let their mind dwell in the suffering, so the suffering is not important. It's not as significant as it would be for you or me, because they're able to detach their mind from that and focus on what they want to focus on. He also said, this is a miraculous medicine that can cure all illness. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to cure your, strep throat. So I don't think he meant all illness in that way. But all that ails us. I often say to myself when I'm doing this, the miraculous medicine that cures all that ails us. Because most of the things that ail me are in my own mind. Most of the things that affect my body also come from my mind, or the minds of other people around me that I let in. Much of my sickness comes from other people. But it always comes down to me, letting them in. And his practice is really focused on these simple words, just for today. Just for today. Anytime I get upset about something, I don't even think, do not worry, do not anger. I just think, just for today. Just for today. a phrase for me that has become a message to my mind. The same way you'd like ring the dinner bell. Everyone knows if you hear ding, 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 it means come for dinner. If you hear someone whistling, they're calling their dog. Just for today, come back, come back. Come back to here, come back to now, come back to the seat you're sitting in, just for today, just for today. Do not anger. Anger is always about the past. When we relive anger again and again, it's always hearkening back to something that happened in the past. Something we can't let go of, something that still hurts us. And we build up this often very self-justified rage. I mean, often these things are wrong, the things that happened to us in the past. People hurt us, they treated us badly, they did unfair things to us. It's not that any of that's not true. It's just that the past doesn't exist anymore, except in our own minds. Often the people who hurt us in the past they don't even remember. They don't remember. Even if you confront them about it, they're like, I don't know, I don't remember that. You're the one it still exists inside of. And if you can learn to bring the mind back into the present moment every time that anger arises, it's not that you heal the past necessarily, but you stop dwelling in it. And when you stop dwelling in it, you stop suffering. The same for worry. Worry is always about a future that hasn't happened yet. It just doesn't exist. We're thinking, what's going to happen next week when such and such, or what's my boss going to say tomorrow when I give the report, or whatever it is. Worry serves no purpose. Worrying about the future doesn't ever change it. It never makes it better. It only makes it worse. And the more we worry, the more negative energy we put into creating the outcome we're most worried about. It's true. What you think about is what you get. It really is true. We magnify the results by what we think. People who think very positively about things get much more positive results than people who really worry about things and have negative thoughts about them. The universe, somehow our brains have a way of amplifying whatever we think. You get more of whatever you think about. If you think about poverty, you're going to lose money. If you think more about wealth, you'll probably gain wealth. If you think about bad things, you'll usually get more bad things. Some of this power of positive thinking is bullshit, but the people use it to make money on their Instagram feed or whatever. But it is also real in a certain way. So the Reiki precepts are simple. Just for today, don't be angry. Don't be in the past. Doesn't change the past, but it takes away the power of the past to control your present. Just for today, don't worry. Doesn't mean tomorrow's not going to come, but you don't have to worry about it. Come back to now. Because Usui said, if you're angry, if you're worried, if you're in the past or the future, you are incapable of actually having gratitude for today. Because you're not here. You might go through the day and smile to people and be polite and whatever, but you're not actually here. You're just approximating being here. You're like a ghost walking through the world. You look like you're here, but you're not actually. The same for working diligently. Now, Yachi can probably give us a whole explanation of what what the word we use as work means, because it's not actually about your job. It's about your duty as a person. We don't think much about duty in the West. It's not how we think so much, but in Asian culture, people are really aware of their duty to first to their country, their whole community, maybe their emperor, maybe their religion. People have a different sense of duty in different parts of the world. In America, we have this idea of freedom that kind of destroys any duty we have to anyone. But it's not just about work. It's about doing your duty, showing up for your family, showing up for your friends, showing up for your sick neighbor, being a good person, being respectful towards your family name, not doing anything to dishonor your family. These are all ideas in the work diligently. It doesn't mean just show up and smile and put on a tie and look like you're there. It means actually showing up for life in a meaningful way. And if you're in the past or the future, you can't do that. You'll show up. You might even look good doing it. There's plenty of people who have their living my best me kind of face on. But it doesn't mean they're actually there or doing anything useful. In fact, usually the people who look the best are the ones who are doing the least. All their effort goes into looking good. And then being kind to people. If you're not in the present moment, you may smile and look like you're being kind to people, but you're not thinking about anyone else. Your mind is in the past, or your mind is in the future. You're not here. So you're not actually capable of understanding what's going on with anyone else at this moment. And if you can't understand what's going on with them, you can't actually help them. So it's not enough to just say the precepts. That's not even the practice, actually. The practice is the contemplation that happens. And that's why at the bottom of the precepts, and you all have a copy, it's in the book, Usui's version, it says, hands in gasho, morning and evening. That's at least twice a day. But when my mind is crazy, I might be doing it 20 times a day or 30 times a day. Every time I notice my mind wandering to the future or the past, I put my hands in gasho and I say, just for today, do not anger, don't worry, be grateful, work diligently, be kind to people. You might say others. In the English version, they say all living beings. You can say it however you want to, but what's important is the contemplation that happens after that. I use my mind to scan through my day. Have I been angry? Like I said, anger is always about the past. So have I been dwelling in the past today? And you'll know if you are, because you'll usually be thinking about someone who hurt you, or somebody who said something, or a conversation from 3 days ago. Or have I been worried? Am I dwelling in the future? Is my mind wandering to events that haven't happened yet? And in that contemplation, if you recognize that something's not right today, it's important, it's critical not to have any judgment. Because having judgment about something latches onto it. It makes an attachment or an aversion. It makes the thing stronger. The desire to get rid of something is the number one thing that will make it stick for another 20 years. So be very careful in this moment of contemplation not to attach to the good or the bad. Just observe without any judgment. Oh yeah, I keep thinking about this thing that happened last week, or this person who hurt me 5 years ago. This is not psychology. We're not trying to heal it. We're not going to talk about it for 6 weeks. You just make the decision. Okay, for the rest of today, I'm going to try not to let this thing have free space in my head. And then you say, once you've made the decision, I'm not going to let this continue. Remember, it's just for now, because it's going to come back in an hour. If something's that strong, it's going to come back. It might come back in 3 hours. It might come back tomorrow. It's going to come back. You say, just for today, do not anger. Don't worry. Be grateful. Work diligently. Be kind to people. And usually you do it 3 times. Silently or out loud is okay. And what I find, I went through a period of doing this very intensely about 20 years ago. I mean, John had taught this to me, and I'd done it a little. I'd done it twice a day, but I never really did it deeply. I never really made this practice a life-changing practice until one day I was tired of suffering. And I started doing it sometimes every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes. At work, I had a corporate job then. It was very stressful, lots of people and personalities and difficult situations and deadlines and stress. And I started doing it every time I caught my mind angry about something in the past, and there was always something every day to be angry about, or worrying about the future, and with deadlines and budgets and staffing problems, there's always something to worry about. And I just started making the commitment every time I did it to bring my mind back to the present, like saying to the dog, bad dog, get down. You know it's going to jump on the sofa again, but all you can say is, bad dog, get down. Sometimes you pick it up and put it on the floor. But if you do it enough times, and when I started really doing it intensely, what happened is after 2 or 3 weeks, I started noticing that it wasn't every 10 minutes anymore. It started being like every hour. And after I'd done it for about 3 months, I started going 3-4 hours at a time without my mind wandering into the past or future. Now, that doesn't mean like I don't have to make a list of what happened in the past to send to my boss, or I don't have to plan my trip next Thursday. That's not being in the future. Buying a plane ticket for next month isn't the same as like your mind dwelling in the future. Unless you start worrying about the trip and what do I need to pack and what outfit am I going to wear, and then you start dwelling in the future. But I started going 3-4 hours at a time without wandering into the past or the future. And then after about 6 months, I would get home at night from work and realize, oh, I didn't have to do the precepts all day. I did it in the morning when I waited for the subway. I would usually do it in the morning waiting for the subway. And then I did it at night before bed, and I'd review the day, and I realized, oh, my mind really didn't wander into the past or future today. It took 6 months of real diligence before I started having these days where just my life got so easy because I started staying in the present moment most of the day. And after that 6 months, I kept doing it, and I started going sometimes 6 months without having an episode where something was intense enough to pull me out of the present. And of course, things will come, right? Things will come. When my kids were in college, I'd get these like massive bills. Columbia, pay $38,000 by by the 17th or something like that, or we'll have to de-enroll them. That's strong enough to get my mind out of the present moment and give me a day or two of worry. So things will come. Somebody dies, or things happen, and that's okay. But you start living a much easier life because your mind is actually here where it needs to be. And the present moment is always a safer place to be than the past or the future. John would always tell me, your head is in a bad neighborhood, get out of there. Past or future are never good places to be. Here is always the best place to be. Even if here is a war zone, it's better to be here than somewhere else. It's better to be where you are than anywhere else. And this is really the foundation for your Reiki practice, learning to be here and not somewhere else. Because until you learn to be here, the miracles can't happen. If your mind is in the past or the future, there will be no miracles in your Reiki practice. And my Reiki practice has been full of miracles, especially in the last few years, because my practice is starting to mature in a way that I never knew could happen, even 5 years ago. And I don't want to make Edmund cry, so I'll hold back on that for the moment. So this book, it has, the precepts are so simple, you would think, why do I even need a book about it? Because it's just one page. The whole Kyogi is one page. It's here in the book. It's on my wall. Please don't reproduce this. Olaf Bohm gave me permission to use it. It's the only publicly available copy of the Kyogi. Usui handwrote it for his students, and only a handful of them have survived to the present. And this guy happened to buy one in an auction in Japan.